Our first questions, and this is to anyone, so anyone feel free to answer. What is your motivation for running, and what is the one issue that is the most important to you in the township? So anyone that wants to answer that.
Well, I spoke about my personal motivation where I had to do a self-assessment, and I've just been born and raised with community service, and so are my children, believe it or not. So the motivation is intrinsic, and I think that's so important because we're a better community with people putting time and effort on our boards, whatever board that is, as well as you community citizens, volunteering at different events, and the businesses association. Again, balancing the budget and looking at your income every year, which continually changes based on how state funding goes and where the legislator goes, is to me one of the key things to provide those intricate services.
For myself personally, I have a young family that lives in the community, so I think I have, a vested interest. I have a long time to live here and still in this community. I look forward to continue to make our community a wonderful place for our youth, our children, and all the people involved to live and grow. With younger family, Parks and Recs are near and dear to my heart, business, and as well as residential area. We need to keep up on that. But I think, for me personally, I think it has a lot to do with having a younger family and having a lot of time to continue to grow in the community. I want to make sure that for generations to come that our community maintains it's a good place to live, shop, raise a family.
Anyone else like to answer that question? What is your motivation for running, and what is the one issue that is most important to you?
Well, as was mentioned, I'll kick in here. Public safety is a priority that we have. I mean, it just has to be given. I don't know, stats would say that we're probably the third largest community in St. Clair County, or we're close to that number with our population. Even though growth is sometimes looked at as a panacea of how a community might be doing, with growth comes the need for service. With service comes the need for money. So not everything pans out the way one would think. Not all things are gold and silver, but you still have to offer. People expect, not just offer, they expect you to be able to service the things that you build, safety-wise especially. As was mentioned, great importance to us is our fire safety unit. We need to like to brag, but I'll go back in history because I'm able to. We need to have all departments set up some sort of a financial plan. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, in which you have them list their needs, those needs that are going to require some money set aside over time. If you don't do that, then all of a sudden you find yourself with a $1.2 million fire truck, and you don't have $1.2 million. So where do you go? You get well, you can go to the government, you can ask for a grant, you can pursue all those avenues, and your next avenue is, I'm looking at you. And so that is a difficult thing to do. We have a millage for police. We went out to try to get a special assessment. The community came in mass and said, no, we want to vote for that whenever it comes to pass. We obliged that concept. But the fire department is a special assessment. And a special assessment, I feel, is needed for public safety only because it sets in place a continuum. It doesn't make it subject to the whims of the public all the time. You need police protection, you need fire protection, you just don't need it periodically. You need it 24/7. And when the call is out, we're expected to respond. We're expected to respond with personnel, we're expected to respond with equipment that works. And as a board, we're expected to see that the money's there to take care of those needs. That's a big priority for us, should be a priority for you and your families. So that's what I think is a major issue for us in the future.
Scott or Jody?
Touching on George here with safety, drug task force, we got a real problem. Everybody's got a problem, but as people move out of Detroit, every day we've got drug busts going on, meth labs, portable meth labs. The drug task force is there. I mean, we've got, here, deputies tell us about different meth labs that, that happen in the township. And when the board asks, or it was on the ballot for protection from the sheriff department, drug task force with a special spot on there, people come through and vote for it. It's a real problem. We've got to protect our kids, we've got to protect our residents with the drug problem. And it's just getting rampant. I mean, more and more cars from Canada come over, different states. And Fort Erie is one of the ending points. I mean, they're bringing it up from everywhere. And that's a real problem we've got, and we've got to address that. And we ask for an increase for the residents. We don't ask for it just to put it on there. We ask if we see a need there for protection.
Same thing for their police department. They might be at the store one minute because somebody shoplifting, the next minute they're in a neighborhood, the next minute they're at a gangster. And we need to keep our own sheriffs up here to keep safety for everybody.
The next question, one of the comments is, thank you for running, but the question is for Jody Moss, how would you change the rezoning of area to stop rentals?
That, I don't want to stop rentals. We don't want to stop rentals. We just need to get some kind of control with some of these slumlords that are coming out of Port Huron and they're just buying these houses, leaving them sit empty for years on end, and then just putting anybody they want in them. And a lot of the people that are coming to our area are people that are leaving Port Huron and they're bringing some of their bad habits with them. So I'm not really sure if we need inspections. I'm not, it's just something I really feel needs to be looked at here. It's been looked at in other towns, other areas, and it just scares me when they say they're gonna close 100 rentals in Fort Huron. I'm thinking, 100 rentals, where are all these people gonna go? And I'm looking at empty homes on my road, and then all of a sudden they start filling up. And I'm thinking, oh, they're coming out here is where they're gonna go. And they're gonna go to Kemple, they're gonna go to Port Huron Township. And I don't ever wanna see Fort Gratiot ever end up with the city of Fort Huron with that many rentals. And not all renters are bad, they're really not. There can be some very good landlords and some good renters, but when Plaza didn't take hold, the K-Woods had bought half my road. So they took single-family homes, turned them into rentals. And that's what happened. That's how quick a neighborhood can be taken over with rentals.
Okay, Cruise Night and the Car Show have been co-sponsored by Fort Gratiot Township and the Fort Gratiot Business Association. How, as a trustee and resident, would you show support of these events?
Show up.
That's volunteer.
It's a great program for our area. Brings lots and lots of money into the township. Our restaurants thrive, our businesses thrive. People come from all over and spend their dollars here. They stay here. Our Canada, I was reading an article just recently here with a bio on Jeep Charlie's when they were at the other corner, and somebody came in and complained about all the white license plates. You know what? Hey, let them come. If I'm at the mall or I'm at Kroger's and somebody's loading their trunk of groceries, the plate, I thank them. Thanks for shopping Fort Gratiot. Welcome. That cruise night is just growing. It's a shining star in the township. We support that.
As far as cruise night and the car show for myself, it's another thing that's near and dear to my heart. I participate in cruise night and the car show. I have a classic car, so I've participated the last few years in cruise night and the car show. I think it's a wonderful event. Obviously volunteering, like Jody said, helping organize, being a participant. And, being a participant, not only are you're not necessarily maybe volunteering on the forefront, but you're talking to people that are involved in the event, such as the car show. Go around and talking to people, and you can get a feel for what they like about Fort Gratiot. Are they from the area? What drew them to Fort Gratiot Car Show? Was it just they wanted to come to the car show, or were they, did they like the area because it's near the water? And talk to them about some of cruise night or something, and it may not just be local people, it could be out of town people, and we may attract these people to come here for years to come, maybe even move to our community, because that's a great, down the road, maybe they're moving in 2 years, 5 years, maybe they say, I like that Fort Gratiot, they did a nice event, that was a great place to come, and maybe I'd like to locate there and live there, so it's a gateway and opening to not only people that live within the community, but also people outside of the community, to get them more familiar with Fort Gratiot and what we're about, and the events and stuff that we can put on. And we've done a wonderful job with the cruise night, and with the car show, taking that over. It's a scarecrow setting. It makes it for a wonderful place for people to come, and I think that that's a key component.
I just want to say, township community partnerships are so valuable to this community. And, Car Show, Keith Peterson was a wonderful person, so you know what I mean, that's just a special place in everyone's heart. But when you look at those opportunities and bringing people into the community, we not only showcase the community, but it's an advantage to the businesses, and I think that we're very limited on industrial base. Our base is really commercial, residential base, and that's so important when you have a major commercial area, is to offer opportunities for people to come and utilize the businesses. And we're fortunate having Canada across the way, and I have Canadian relatives who come over all the time. With the dollar right now, I think they're coming a little less, but they're still coming, is the issue, because of their tax base over there. So any way we can support, I think those partnerships are very valuable for our community.
Okay, this question is for Robert Montgomery. The question is, we currently partner with Port Huron Recreation. What type of events and programs would you like to develop in our parks and recreations for young families, teens, and seniors?
I've actually, when we partnered, when Fort Gratiot partnered with the city of Port Huron in the Parks and Recs, it gave Fort Gratiot residents a discounted rate in order to attend stuff through Port Huron Parks and Recs. I think that's been a valuable thing for our community and for our members. I'm actually taking part in that. My children attended swim lessons at the San Juan pool. That's a great thing. That's something that our community, we don't have a pool. We don't have that to offer. And that understandably, we're not putting a pool in anytime soon. So I think that's a great partnership. We need to continue some sort of partnerships. That's a great partnership because it allows us, Fort Gratiot residents, to be able to have our children experience these events without having to immediately get involved in the infrastructure and the capital outlay of trying to put together a pool and put some of this stuff together. If an organization is in place, which it is in Port Huron, if we can partner with them and we can work together with that's a great thing, not only for Port Huron as it helps them, but it helps us as a community because it keeps some of our costs down. It opens that up to our residents and lets them be able to experience that. I think we need to, definitely keep that going. The swim lessons are excellent. I think our Scarecrow Saturday is excellent. But as far as Parks and Recs in itself, I think it's in a great direction right now. I think the programs that they have being opened up and are available to us as a community have been a wonderful asset.
I'd like to see our parks, one of them, somewhere in Fort Gratiot, get the handicap swing for the wheelchairs. That's been a dream of mine for years now, quite a few years. And I think that we at least need one park that has one of them.
Does anyone else want to comment on the question?
What is that walk they do with the Parks and Rec? I can't remember the proper name, something for, it's sponsored by McLaren. And my wife drags me to that every year. But one of the walks we did was our Parks Trail, starting at Myers and then going whatever. That was kind of novel, but they do I got 2 t-shirts.
Is it the mystery walk where you
I don't
don't know
know.
until?
There's several blocks, like
Sponsored by Park and Rec, you gotta go to 5 of them to get a t-shirt, but I was there, I got, I can vouch for it. But that's kind of neat, and that's kind of humbling, so, we could do something like that as well. We have the facilities here. Rob, Mr. Crawford, by the way, my friend around here, he's one of these sailboat enthusiasts. He has a big sailboat. I don't know how many people it holds, but he sails it there at the township pond occasionally. So there are other things we do, and there are other community organizations that utilize our park for a number of reasons, but it's a great place to walk. And it's a neat place in the spring, and I mean, it's just beautiful. And we care for that, and we maintain it, and that's just another nice feature that we have to offer the residents. Sort of free of charge. I mean, there's nothing free in the world, but it's sort of free of charge, so take advantage of it. It's kind of neat.